You ready? So you'll notice in the alarm screen you can see the 3 alarms that are currently in place. Got a couple of temperatures and a low limit for a loop that we would need to look into here. They came in a long time ago. It looks like, I know these temps have been there for a while. We may need to make some adjustments to the parameters on those. But you can see there's an informational button over here. You can click that. It tells you the time information. It tells you basically what's going on with it, what the point information is, general information that if you needed some support on something and you pulled this up, it would help somebody to know, even over the phone, for a service request or something of that nature. But that's just the informational part. The system self-acknowledged this, and that maybe the alarm point went in and it went back out, and the system acknowledged it. But in this, it's just an informational page at this point. There's not really anything you need to do. Obviously, if a new alarm comes in, it's something that needs attention. That would be your place to see that and to look into it. The next tab here is for scheduling. There's already some schedules in place. You can open the schedule up. I think it's just scheduled to be 24/7 at the moment. Okay.
Should be.
So what I see happening here, let's see. Okay. So what's going on here is just to clarify what these icons mean. So you've got the slider here, this little dot, and then you've got the indication of what it's doing. So it says a 1 in there. That means it's going to state 1, which a lot of times is on or occupied. And you click that to make that go away, and then down at the bottom, it's going to return to default. So it's releasing the command if it goes out of schedule. Those can be changed. It could be, take that out of there. We could go to a different state instead of returning to default. So if we wanted to command something on and command it back off, we would know those 2 states. Being that this is a schedule for a DOAS unit, we would have there's usually a lot of states to consider: awk, unawk, auto, off, depending on the controller. If it's just like let's say you have an on-off point that you want to schedule, it'll either be 0 and 1 or 1 and 2, something like that. Or it may actually show you the text in there, off, on, depending on the point. So some of them are going to be really easy to modify schedules, more so than others. But if there was any point where you wanted to change this, you can go in and drag the slider, or you can do an exception. If you do an exception to a day, let's see here, add exception by date. I don't generally schedule stuff on sites after we do it, so I haven't done an exception on this platform, but let me see here. There is I wonder if that's just doing an exception for just the 1 day. So if we do the exception, do it for the date, and save, then go back to scheduler. That's for the 14th. Today is the 15th. Go to the exception. Oh, that's if you want to do it more than 1 day. Do an exception for both days. Date range created. There we go. It took me a while to find that. So you go to your calendar, you do your exception, you create your day or your place, however long you want to do it. It's usually, when you do an exception, a lot of times it's just going to be one day. But after you do that, you go to your list view, you select the one that you've created, and then you give your start and end. Well, that's still not giving me what I need to create the.
Instead of doing by date, can you pick like by hour? When you go back,
Yeah.
go to your exception
Yeah,
again.
let's try that again. Sometimes you gotta
And then
think.
instead of date, is there another option? Day range, weekday, recurring. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm looking for though is how to change the hours. After you select the day, you pick the day, you do the exception, and then there's a spot where you put your hours in that you're doing the exception for. So you save that. Why is it showing me this time and not letting me select it?
Can you do range now or no?
The range is, that's what I thought it was too, but when you do the range, it does the more days. It just allows you to pick additional days. Did you crack now? Interesting.